The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. In the small matters, trust the mind. In the large ones, the heart. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. He that has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret. If his lips are silent, he chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. Analogies, it is true, decide nothing, but they can make one feel more at home. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. Illusions commend themselves to us because they save us pain and allow us to enjoy pleasure instead. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. Religion is an illusion, and it derives its strength from the fact that it falls in with our instinctual desires. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. The mind is like a fertile garden. It will grow anything you wish to plant, beautiful flowers or weeds. Children are completely egoistic. They feel their needs intensely and strive ruthlessly to satisfy them. Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. In mourning, it is the world which has become poor and empty. In melancholia, it is the ego itself. A layman will no doubt find it hard to understand how pathological disorders of the body and mind can be eliminated by mere words. The unconscious mind is decidedly simple, unaffected, straightforward, and unambiguous. I have found little that is good about human beings on the whole. In my experience, most of them are trash. The great question that has never been answered, and which I have not yet been able to answer, despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, is what does a woman want? The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. The ego refuses to be distressed by the provocations of reality, to let itself be compelled to suffer. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. We are so made that we can derive intense enjoyment only from a contrast and very little from a state of things.